Good morning, everyone. This is George Beyrouthi from FS Securities. We educate and inform prospective clients and anyone who's interested to find out what happened overnight and on the market, the global market. We start obviously by what happened overnight. You can see here that the Dow was up 369 points, actually recovering most of the losses yesterday. However, look at 2 days ago. What happened? 912 points, 3.9%. So over the last 3 days, we're still in front, quite in front. The S&P 500 was also up 1.67% yesterday, recovering all of the losses from yesterday. And look what happened the day before. The Nasdaq Technology Index, 2.1%, and the StoxX 50 Index, which comprises most major European markets, was up 1.4%. In Japan, the Nikkei was up 0.8%, and in Shanghai in China, the market was down 0.5%. But anyway, the last 2 days, we've had some 2 good days. On our market yesterday, look, green, green, green. We had quite a reasonable 3 days performance. Yesterday, we were up 13 points, and we finished at 5,573. And the futures this morning are showing that the market most likely will open higher by 36 points or 0.6%. Gold steady overnight, 1,750. By the way, the difference between those prices is that this is actually the difference between this morning and last night. And that price was actually reflecting what happened yesterday morning and the day before. So if you compare morning to morning to morning, well, we are still higher than the last 3 days. Silver, 1802, also highest in 3 days. And Brent oil, 35.7, again highest amongst 3 days. And the West Texas crude oil, 33.4. Soybeans, reflecting what happened between China and the US, was up $4.25 US per bushel. The Australian dollar versus the US, 65.9, and against the euro, 60.1, against the British pound, 63.9. And Bitcoin was trading at 9,535, was down 155 US dollars compared to yesterday morning. The day before was minus 18, the day before plus 38, but then we've had some very good 3 days heading towards the halving of the compensation that the miners were getting early this week. And anyway, in Australian dollars, it shows now that converts to approximately 14,445. We were well above 15,000 only a few days ago. And iron ore price was down 1.4%, trading at 96.95 US per bushel. Now, in terms of the Dow, you can see here, this is the weekly and that's the daily. On the weekly side, after the big reversal, we started to recover all the way 50% of the gain retracement, and then started to hover up and down, and so far this week the green candle is above the 50-day retracement. The question is, will it get to 61.8 Fibonacci retracement? I think it's a very good chance. However, let's have a look at on the daily, the parabolic stop and reverse bullish, the stochastic bullish, and look here, look at that dotted orange. That's the thin dotted orange is above the black dotted orange. That means the 9-day is above the 21-day moving averages. That's positive. And the candle happens to be above the 21. Again, very, very positive. It's very well, the Bollinger Band, especially the upper band, may push higher. Maybe we can see 25,000, not so far away. So we, from our point of view, we think that the American market is bullish at the moment. Let's have a look at the Australian market. This is the ASX 200 on the weekly. We managed to reverse approximately 38.2%. It hovered several days around that level, and this week so far it looks like it's above it, and it looks like it's going to finish above it. Are we going to see the 5,800, the 50-day retracement? Well, let's have a look at the daily. Parabolic stop and reverse bullish, the stochastic bullish, and here we have several green candles, 4, and we must likely get the 5th one today as well. Are we going to go above the 5,600? I think there is every chance. And the question is, are we going to go to 5,800, the 50% retracement? I think there is a good chance of that. Okay, let's have a look at the volume. Very positive here. It shows the advances and declines for the last 4 days exceeded the declines, and here we see the volume higher and higher, meaning that more and more people are coming back into the market to buy whatever they can put their hands on. And look, for the last 4 weeks, this is the weekly advances over declines. You can see that the blue is above the red, indicating that the advances exceeded declines. Again, that's very, very positive. Now, in terms of our mechanical system that we have designed about 25 years ago, and we continue to refine, this is the weekly indicators, and it's based on the investor here. We look at the figures between the week and the day and provide you a recommendation at the end of the week. And then during the week, of course, the daily recommendation will change depending on the indicators. And remember, some indicators are bullish and leading, and some indicators are bearish and lagging. So it depends very much on how the indicators, which by the way we pick 5 out of 8 on 2 time frames. For the investor, we look at the monthly and the weekly, and for the conservative trader and aggressive trader, we look at the weekly and the daily. And this is actually the recommendation at the end of the week, and that's the recommendation that changes every day. So this morning we see that the Nasdaq very strongly bullish for the last 3 days, or the last 3 mornings. The S&P 500 again strongly bullish for the aggressive and the very aggressive trader. Gold continues to be bullish right through. We started by recommendation last Saturday, and we said bullish for the investor, the conservative trader, the aggressive trader, and the very aggressive trader. And we continue with that position. And if you're trading gold this morning, you'll be quite happy because gold went up. In terms of crude oil, on Saturday we told you bullish only for the very aggressive trader. And if you are a very aggressive trader and maybe aggressive trader, you're still holding onto your bullish position, and again you'll be making some money because crude oil, whether it's the Brent or the West Texas, both of them have been going up and up and up and up. In terms of the Australian dollar, on Saturday we said it was bearish, and then we started with neutral on Wednesday, turned bullish on Wednesday morning, and then this morning we are showing you we are bullish again for the very aggressive trader. And again, if you are trading the British pound, that would be a good bearish position. Okay, now what we go now for, we look at the stocks. Again, in terms of the stocks, what we have here, ANZ very bearish, even though we've seen a slight price rise yesterday, but over the last few days we still are in decline. We were above $16 US, and look, the last trade was $15.51, and we managed to get 7 cents yesterday. It was actually higher during the morning and came back. BHP yesterday was down. However, for the very aggressive trader, we like to go with the bullish position. CIMIC, that's the old Leighton Holdings, bullish this morning. And NAB, again, the banks have been, with the exception of CBA, ANZ, NAB, and Westpac, they're very strongly bearish. They may go up one day, maybe come back the following day, but at the moment all the indicators out of 8 indicating mainly bearish. And again, remember, some of those indicators are lagging and they take time to form. So Newcrest Mines bullish this morning. So again, this will be put on our website for you to actually have a look at. Every morning we also look, we scan the market to see what stock amongst the top 50 had excessive volume. How do we do that? We compare the volume yesterday with the 50-day moving average for the volume. So we look at the volume every day, and over 50 days we look at the moving average, and then we compare the volume yesterday with that average. And if there is an excessive volume, they appear here for the bullish and the bearish. Well, nothing this morning for the top 50. However, for the mid cap, we've got here several companies. Unfortunately, we cannot really trade Bellevue Gold on the CFDs, and we can trade Village Roadshow, we can trade LSA Gold. So these companies are available to trade, not all of them. And look here, this price here, Bellevue Gold, I'm sorry, we cannot trade it on CFDs. If you want to buy it directly as shares, that's fine. 68 cents, the closing price. Yesterday was up 17 cents. Volume was 700% of the average volume. In other words, 780,000. That is the moving average volume over 50 days. And yesterday we've seen 6.4 million. So the reason why the price went up 3 times. 17 cents. You need to have a look at that. LSA Gold was up 6% in the price and it had more than double the volume. Again, this is very important for us because it helps us to actually look at the various market. Anyway, finally, our disclaimer. Remember that everything I showed you here today is for only general advice only, and before you take any action, please consult with us or with your professional advisor. Remember, there is no guarantee in anything we said here today because the market has got too many variables. Plus, we don't know your financial circumstances and your average or whatever risk appetite. If you have any questions, all you have to do is ask. So to ask, you can write to me at George@FS Securities. FS stands for full service. George@FS Securities, plural. .com.au. If you ring me on my mobile, I'm available 7 days a week, almost 12 hours a day. Ring me on my mobile. If you're ringing from overseas, it's 61, you don't need a 0. Overseas people, 61-411-259526. Local people, ring me on my mobile, 0411-259526. And all I can say now, have a good day and happy trading.